The Obamas, then and now. President Obama, of course, reigns supreme tonight, just a day after winning re-election. Hard to believe that it's nearly 4 years since we saw the Obamas dance to their first song at the inaugural ball. And there were so many stars attached to the gala back then. You remember the legendary Aretha Franklin, who we just spoke with, by the way, in a brand new interview. That's coming up in just a moment. But first, what are the top 3 then and now Obama moments? Here you go. Coming in at number 3. Who will be the performers this time around? Now, back then, the Obamas danced to Beyonce, singing the Etta James classic, At Last.
At last, my love has come along.
All right. Well, now they are getting ready for the next inauguration. So the question is, who's going to be there? Who's singing? Who's performing? With me in New York, Janelle Snowden, who's a correspondent with VH1's Big Morning Buzz Live. From Philadelphia, Cheryl Lee Ralph, whose new movie, Christmas in Compton, opens this Friday. Great to have you both here. So let's go back. Back then it was At Last. They danced to it. And I want you to listen now to what President Obama told Ryan Seacrest on his radio show when Seacrest asked the president what he and the First Lady would be dancing to this time around.
If you win the election, have you picked out the song that you and the First Lady will dance to?
Well, now that's a tough choice, and I think I will have to consult with my wife.
Smart move.
But the last time out, Beyonce sang "At Last," Etta James' classic, and that was a pretty good choice. Whatever it is, it's going to be. It's got to be a slow song so I can put my moves on.
Put the moves on. Put the moves on FLOTUS.
Something a little romantic, you know.
Yeah, listen to that. President Obama getting a little frisky there. All right, Cheryl, what song do you think the president and FLOTUS should dance to this time?
Okay, so you know I love FLOTUS and POTUS, and he's already said it's got to be slow and sexy. I suggest skip the singer and have the president sing it himself. He can sing, and hold her. I'm so in love with you. Oh, and look at FLOTUS. Whatever you want to do, go on, President. Is all right with me.
Yes, they should have you sing it.
I can sing it.
Oh my
I
God.
can tell you he can do this.
And now, Janelle,
Come on, POTUS.
Janelle, I was going to come to you and ask you for what you think they should be dancing to, but now you know you're going to have to sing.
And now I got to follow that,
That's right,
You know,
that's
she
right.
totally took that from me. I was exactly going to say that because, of course, you know, it's only fitting he sang it during the campaign. But you know what? I think it's only right that they pay respect to Jay-Z and Beyonce since they did so much to help them get into the office. So I think they should do Crazy in Love. Come on, imagine Michelle doing the booty pop dance. She already did the Dougie. Come on, it's good, right?
Oh, listen, anything as long as it's not Gangnam Style or Call Me
God,
Maybe,
no.
I think we'll be okay.
Yes.
Well, from the Obamas dancing to the diva singing. This comes in at number 2 on the Showbiz Countdown then and now. Perhaps the greatest diva on the planet, Aretha Franklin, sang at President Obama's first inauguration ceremony. People are still buzzing about her eye-catching moment 4 years later. Watch this.
I can't treat it of the sweet land of liberty of the I sing.
Well, Showbiz Tonight's Nichelle Turner spoke with the great Aretha Franklin by phone today and asked her what it was like back then. Got to listen to this.
I remember that moment. You were singing My Country, 'Tis of Thee, and it was such a moment. Did you, I mean, you've been performing for so many years, but did you really just feel that, the gravity of that moment that day?
Oh, absolutely. How could you not feel it? You know, right there in the middle of one moment in time, as they say, and one moment in history and in African-American and American history.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if I may, that was a very momentous moment, but you kind of made your own moment that day as well when you walked out with that fascinator on. I know you like your fashion, but did you have any idea that that hat would become what it was and that people all over the world would want that hat?
I had no idea, Michelle, when, subsequent to the inauguration, I saw many other ladies wearing it, and I want you to know they were working it.
They were.
They were working it. I saw it in white, with a white triple tier fox stole. It was absolutely beautiful.
Now, is that hat, it's in a museum now, isn't it?
No, not yet. We had been talking with the Smithsonian, and then when I had to go into the hospital, the talks broke off. But since then, I've been kind of thinking about, are you sure you want to give it to the Smithsonian? How about putting it in the Franklin Museum?
Well, it definitely...
Because I would have artifacts of my dad's and mine, too, over the years.
Well, it definitely deserves its own place, because I remember that hat was talked about for so long. So did you plan for a long time for that, or was it just something you saw? Because I wonder, if you were to participate again, I mean, how do you top that?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. But no, the hat took on a life of its own.
Yeah.
Wow. Who doesn't love the great Queen of Soul? All right, Cheryl, you know fashion. You love that hat, too, I'm sure. And you know, by the way, it has a website of its own. But that was then.
Yes.
So who and how could anyone possibly top Ms. Aretha's eye-catching moment now?
Let me tell you something. When I think back and I say, oh, say, can you see this grand hat sitting on me? I wonder, what are they going to come up with this year? Because that hat, like you just said, AJ, was living a whole life and singing a whole song of its own. And I loved it.
Yeah, Cheryl.
Church women were taking that hat, baby.
No question. I thought about it, too. Cheryl, singing some more right there, Janelle, so get ready. I am going to put you on the spot.
You guys set me up.
But listen, we must move from Aretha's spectacular fascinator to the fascination over Michelle Obama's fashion. This has gone on and on for years now. The minute that we learned last night President Obama won, well, the conversation pretty quickly turned for a lot of people to what Michelle was wearing. I should tell you, it was Michael Kors. I didn't recognize that myself, but I was told that. No, I get told that information. By the way, this dress was recycled, and I think that's one of the reasons why the First Lady's fashion takes the #1 spot on the Showbiz Countdown. 4 years ago, no question about it, FLOTUS Michelle Obama became the world's newest fashion star. So let's take a little look at why. We have this great lookbook. Let's open it up. It begins with the classic Jason Wu dress that she wore for the inaugural ball back then. Janelle, I know you agree with me. Classy lady through and through. I think women love the fact that she recycles her fashion. What do you think she's going to wear come Inauguration Day?
She's the best. You know what I love about this is that they get to just do their thing. They don't have to worry about being judged because they're not going to campaign again. They can just go all out. So I think she should bare those arms that have become legendary. And I think she should do something that's regal, but why not sex it up? She's got a great body. She looks amazing. He's in love with her. I mean, what better night? Like that inaugural ball is going to be the ultimate foreplay for them. So I think she should just go all out.
The ultimate foreplay, the inauguration ball. I believe that's the first time that's been uttered on national television. You both look great. Janelle, Cheryl Lee Ralph, thank you both for being here.